Hey, Dalton. Good to see you. First of all, shaken up yesterday. How are you feeling physically? Is that going to be something that lingers through the off season, or you can get past it quickly?
I think I'll be able to get past it quickly. I got a sprained ankle, one of those things that happened at the very end of the second quarter. Got rolled up on pretty good. Didn't look too good on the film, but, feeling pretty good this morning, man. And obviously it'll take a few weeks of rehab, but, sprained ankles aren't anything too serious, so I should be able to get through that, man.
And secondly, just your emotions coming out of this season, finishing 5-11. I know that's not where you wanted to be.
Yeah, it's extremely frustrating. We have to hold ourselves to a higher standard and figure out what the issue was and get better, be a better football team. It seems like the same old story, and I hope that I don't have to keep telling you guys that because I'm even sick of talking about it. So plain and simple, Andrew, we got to be a better football team. I don't think anyone in this organization or on this team are happy with 5-11. So we got to get better this offseason. We're not going to sit and sulk about it and say, poor us and cry. And, what are we going to do? Let's just be a better football team. Let's all be better individually and move forward, and we'll be okay, man. I got all the faith in the world in this organization and the coaching staff and the players, my teammates, myself. I'm excited. I'm excited to keep moving forward as a Bronco.
Hey, Dalton. Thanks for meeting with us. What is it that gives you some glimmers of hope that in 2021, this team can get back to the playoffs and kind of put this 5-year stretch behind itself?
I look at my teammates, Arnie, I look at my coaches, I look at how much work we're putting in each and every week. I look at the game that we played against the Raiders, a good football game. Our defense took the ball away 4 times. We did a pretty good job on offense, could have finished some of our drives a little bit better instead of taking field goals. Could have got some more touchdowns, capitalized on those turnovers a little bit more. But I look at my teammates and coaches, and I have full faith in these guys. I love the guys that we have on this team. I think we all have heart. I think that we have a lot of talent. I just don't think that we're consistent, and I don't think that we work as well as we need to together quite yet. So me going into my 3rd year, we got to work better as a team. We got to hopefully have the same offensive line moving forward, same scheme in terms of our coaches, not going to change the playbook, be able to go in there and really hone in and become more of a veteran-like team for next season. So I think there's a lot of good things you can take away from this season. There's some teams looking at, 1-15, 2-14 that really don't have much to take away at all. And I know we were 5-11, but I still think there's a lot of good things we can take away from this season.
Dalton, obviously you had injuries and COVID stuff up front that affected that continuity, but how would you assess how you guys kind of grew as a unit throughout the year? And then specifically Lloyd, how did he grow as a center and just help him, up front and managing the offense and the calls and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I think as an offensive line, we grew a ton. You look at us at the beginning of the year, and, I've never worked with Lloyd. Lloyd's never worked with Graham. I've never worked with Graham. The right tackles never worked with Graham. The only continuity we had was really, me working with Garrett Bowles. So going into this year, we had a lot of continuity to build. We got to come together, man. We were a lot of separate guys on that offensive line. I think we continue to get better at that each and every week. And it started with Lloyd. Lloyd continued to get more confident and continued to get more physical, continued to see what it's like to play in the NFL, the speed of the game, how he's got to get his calls out. And I think he grew and matured a ton. Obviously, Garrett Bowles had a great season. Graham was banged up a little bit, but he had a good season when he was in there. And Elijah Wilkinson and DeMar Dotson did a heck of a job at right tackle. So we got to continue working together, holding each other accountable on the film. And I think we'll continue to grow as an offensive line. I tell you guys this all the time. I think that the longer you work together as an O-line, the better you can be.
Hey, Dalton, for you personally, what does the offseason look like, and what do you try and make your goal for the offseason heading into your 3rd year in the NFL?
For sure, man. Get healthy mentally, get healthy physically. I think that's the biggest thing that you can do. After my rookie season, I didn't take very many days off, man. I give it maybe 2 or 3 days, and my coaches told me to do 3 weeks. I was back in the weight room getting ready to go. I don't think I really took a break like I needed to. I don't think it affected me this year, but that's one thing I learned from last year. I just love this game. I love the blessing to play for the Broncos, man. So I just wanted to work and get better every single day. So I'm going to make sure I take a break mentally and physically, get my mind right, get my body right before I get back into working out. But when I do, I want to become a stronger football player. I want to continue to be more confident in my ability, continue to be a veteran, a leader on that offensive line. So stay in touch with my boys. I'll be around here in Denver, hopefully working out with Lando Sports Performance. I think he does a great job. He's our strength coach here. I hope he can help me this offseason as well. So I'll be hanging around Denver, going back to Wiggins time to time to see the family. So I'll be around here, man.
Dalton, how big will it be for the offense as a whole, and then Drew specifically, to have Pat Shurmur and your offensive coaches back?
Yeah, I think it'll be crucial. That's one thing that I was talking about, Brandon, in terms of continuity, just being able to come back and have the same offensive line. And when it comes to Drew, I can't stand your shirt, Brandon. You might want to lean forward again. Anyways, Drew, having that same offensive coordinator and being able to, see that same playbook and continue to get better and not have to learn the new plays. And truth be told, we're professionals. If plays change, hopefully some plays do change, we can learn that. But I think it'll be crucial to have, the offensive staff back, that we can continue to work with them and continue to grow, man.
Let's time for a few more next one, Mike.
Yeah, Dalton, Drew Lock's command of the huddle, his leadership style last year, beginning of this year, compared to the last month of the season or so as he grew.
Yeah, he grew a ton. One thing that Drew does a really good job of is, there's a lot of pressure on him. I think obviously everyone knows that. He's expected to play at a very high level, and when he doesn't, he hears about it. But I think that this last month, he's just showed how through the thick and the thin, when things have been hitting the fan, we're 5-11, 5-10. He continues to hold his head high. He continues to be confident for us. He continues to keep his emotions in check. He's not too high. He's not too low. I'm really appreciative of that. And I think that he did a lot of good things this year. Truly, it's his first full year in the league. And I'm really excited to see what Drew does next year. He's going to have a full year underneath his belt with a little bit of work the previous year as well. So I think he'll be able to do some great things next year. He grew a ton in terms of commanding the huddle and being a leader. And he has lots of areas to grow too, as do I. Drew can continue to be a leader. I don't think he even realizes the leadership capabilities he has on this team and how many people look up to him.
The final two, Nick and Troy.
Dalton, you talk a lot about what Coach Munchak, just his being in the second year in his system and how that has helped growth. What are some of the specific ways, particularly with young players, that he has really kind of put his stamp on this team in the past 2 seasons?
Yeah, Nick, he just he slows down the game. He shows us what works and what doesn't. One of the things I love about Coach Munchak, man, is that he's done it before. It's so easy for guys like me and young guys to listen to a coach like that, because sometimes we have habits that we've developed the first 22 years of our lives, and we get to the NFL and we're expected to change them. And whenever you want to change them, you want to change it for a guy that he knows what he's talking about. And that's the story with Mike Munchak, as he does. And he'll show us on film time in and time again how if you do his technique, you're going to find yourself winning battles. You're going to find yourself being able to process the game slower. Slow down the game, slow the speed of the game down. And he did a great job with me last year, and I think he did a great job with Lloyd. I think he holds us to a very high standard. He expects a lot out of us. I don't think he was, happy one time this year, nor do I think he'll ever be happy. He always wants more. He always wants us to get better and better. And I appreciate that so much about him, man. I think all of us on the offensive line are lucky to be coached by him. And our goal should be to do exactly what he did and have a gold jacket on his back for playing. And he's probably going to have one on there for coaching too. So I love that guy.
Final one, Troy.
Dalton, when you look at the numbers, you guys scored 3 more points per game. Yardage was up, but you still don't have the record you want. What is it about this group that gives you optimism moving forward? Is it the youth and that you literally just see the high ceiling? Because obviously Broncos country is frustrated. You know that.
Yeah. Well, Troy, love your sweatshirt. Way better than Brandon, man. That thing's sick. Anyways, it's one of those deals of I have faith in this organization. I have faith in my teammates in this team because of the players on it, Troy. And yes, we are young. And I hate excuses. I hate saying, well, we're young and we're going to get better, but we are really young. And you look at some of these teams that are successful in the NFL, and they've been working together for a long time. They've got a quarterback that's been in the league for a while. They've been working together with their wide receivers, with their offensive line for a while. And I think that's what we're building here in Denver. We're starting to work. Jerry finished the year great. Jerry grew a lot this year. Through thick and thin, he did. KJ Hamler did as well. You look at the offensive line and how much Lloyd grew, how much we got to grow together. If we could keep that together for next year, I think we could be so successful. And we have Jawan James coming back, one of the higher paid right tackles in the league. We got to grow with Melvin Gordon this year. Drew got to grow so much. We have guys that are out, Troy. Von Miller, Cortland Sutton, Jarrell Casey, Mike Purcell. Phil Lindsay was banged up. Like, we have so many guys in this team that were injured. You guys know how the injured bug hit us at the beginning of the year. I just think there's so much positive to look forward to. Yes, it's totally okay. People can be disappointed. I don't think I should be, happy with a 5-11 season, but that doesn't mean that I can't be excited for what we have coming next year, because I am. I'm happy because of the teammates that I have, because of the guys we have coming back from getting injured, and how much the staff cares, how much the organization cares, and frankly, how much Broncos country cares. And we know they care because they hate when we lose and they let us know about it. And that's fine with me because we need to be a better football team. So I can't wait for next year whenever we're talking about a whole lot better of a season, man. I appreciate you guys.